Okay, so here we are at an undisclosed location in central Ontario, and we did an install of that Starlink there a couple months ago, and we're back now. See our previous video on that installation. It's obstructed a little bit. So we're gonna get it up another 3 feet onto a tripod. So it's gonna be a totally different installation. So first thing, I have to take that one down, and then once we get that down, then we'll show you the installation of the tripod. And then okay, so here we are, and we have our tripod right here. I've preemptively put the putty on the bottom. This is just duct seal. You get that at the electrical section at the Home Depot. And you just put the putty on there, and then when you drive the screws in, it'll wrap around the screws and it'll plug the holes. So that's about that for the tripod. It goes like this, and you have to have a tripod on the peak of a roof, which is why I don't use them very often, because usually the peak of the roof is not in the right spot. But in this one, it actually is. So we've got our Starlink dish here, which I've put the pipe adapter into. And this is a 10-foot fence pole. I believe it's a top rail. I think it's 1.25 inches. It's strong enough for this. Do not do this with a Gen 2 or a Gen 3. They're just too heavy. And you get any more than this, you're gonna have to put guide wires on. So we're at the limit here trying to get the extra height. Because we had the other one up there and we have to get this much height, this is as high as I could possibly go without costing the customer a pile of money. So yeah, we're gonna take the tripod up there, mount it, and then we'll put this together and stick it on top. Okay, so these feet will swivel. Okay, so it's gonna be something like that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that foot, but you can see that the angle, quite a big gap here. So basically, you just do the best you can, and then it will bend. It's not very strong steel. Okay, now I gotta try to reach the hard to get at one. All right, and since I'm having such a hard time reaching that last one, I have a roofing screw here with a magnetic bit, so I'll have to hold it. Okay, 9 bolts. If it comes off, the roof is coming with it. Okay, so I'm gonna stick the pipe adapter on here now. This one's an extra small one, so it goes on this tapered end, no problem, but if you need to, you can just cut that off and it'll be a little wider. Okay, so I'll make sure this is in all the way. There we go. Try to tighten evenly around. Once we put this thing up, we are not gonna have access to it, so you wanna put your cable ties on now. And that way, if you accidentally pull on the cable, you're also not gonna pull it out of the dish. Then you gotta take the whole thing down again. Ask me how I know. Do not skip that step. Very important. Up we go again and plant this thing like a flag. Heavy. Whew. At this point, it's not going anywhere. I'm gonna try to straighten it up, but also I gotta point the thing, which is gonna be something like that. But I gotta go plug it in first so we can go into the app and make sure the tilt and the angle's right. Okay, so if you look up there, you can see our line of sight looks pretty good now. Basically, I did the best that I could to go in. Obviously, this is a used mount, and I don't use a ton of them, so I'm not in great practice. So it is a little off level here. So I did compensate by, as you can see, I screwed these ones in much further than this one. And I adjusted the alignment. I got everything locked down so the thing won't move now. Basically, that's that. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to talk about guide wires. But before we do, if you're interested in getting a Starlink, we have a referral link down below that's going to get you a free month of service. And we will link everything relevant to this video down below as well. I'm going to explain the situation. We put it up there, and we were going to get it to try for a few days to make sure that we solve the problem where it's not obstructed. And it has. And the customer told me, because I made him agree to it, whether or not he does it's up to him, to put guide wires on it after we knew that it was going to work. So how you would do this is before you put it up, you're going to get 3 eyelets that are going to bolt right through, and then you're going to put them up someplace like this. The dish is going to be up here, and then you're going to have some aircraft cable, and you're going to go out, make sure you get enough to go all the way to the corners. I'll demonstrate that on a piece of paper in a second. And then you're going to get yourself 3 turnbuckles. Now this does not need to be heavy gauge stuff, so just get, simple stuff. In the case of the one that we did on there, if the customer doesn't put the guide wires on it and it wiggles around enough, it might work itself loose. It's not going to fall off because it's sitting, gravity's holding it in there. So it'll just start to flop around. So that's not really a risk, but if you're going to do it right. Okay, so basically this is going to be our boathouse that it's on. So there's one side, there's the other side, and then, somewhere in the middle is the ridge, right? So obviously that's not the middle, but you get the idea. So ideally, you're going to have your tripod something like this. And then you're going to have your guide wires going something, let's put the pole in the middle here. So your guide wires are going to go like this and something like that. So you're going to have 3 guide wires, all tightened so they're basically fighting each other. Now, this is not the case of the one that we have done there, so I'll show you that one. So in order to get over the trees, we had to go all the way to the far side here. So basically our tripod is sitting something like this. There's our center pole. So what we have to do with this one is we have to go down to these corners here, because that's as far as we can get. And then another one's got to go down here. So these ones are going to, actually, you know what, probably not even on the angle. I think you'd be best just to go straight across like that, because that way they're directly fighting each other. I mean, you're going to have to kind of feel out the situation. But this one over here, what you're going to do with this one is you're going to tighten it just enough to put tension on, so the pole's going to be pulled slightly that way. That way it's not going to want to bounce back and forth because you're already putting tension on it. That's about the best you can do in this scenario. Okay, so there you have it. As we mentioned, we're going to have the links down below for the referral and the products, including, I did find these. They're actually not that expensive. You're probably going to have to get the pole at the Home Depot. And then we'll also link to the pipe adapter on top. So if you got value out of this, please like, subscribe, share it. Somebody that might be interested in this. And if you want to donate a little bit to us, you can use the Buy Me a Coffee thing that we're going to link down below as well, and to help us out with our production. Okay, so I think that's it. So let's move on to the next one. All right, thanks for watching.